Hi guys, it's Sonelias and welcome back to Surviving Mars. Start of a brand new series that we're basically doing as a let's play here. We're going to start a brand new game. So brand new game, new series. We're going to basically not go with the original sponsor that we had, which was the original International Space Mission, which made it very easy. Difficulty, as you can see, very easy. Lots of funding, 30 billion in terms of funding. I want to be a bit more conservative now, so I'm thinking of doing something other than the International Mars mission. So I'm thinking of either India, Europe. India's got a nice perk there. You got straight away the medium domes. All building cost is reduced by 20%, which is nice. Difficulty normal, but if you look at the difficulty bonus, it's 110%. If you jump to Europe though, that jumps to 130%, and space Y 150. Nice thing about space Y is you get additional drones. And you get cheaper advanced resources. But, of course, you get less funding, less research. Still a bit in doubt as to which one to take. Let's start off as India. That sounds like an interesting one. Now, we can, of course, also choose our commander profile. So what we're going to do here is choose one that would be quite useful to India. Psychologist? Yeah, I think that makes sense. A logo, we're going to choose a brand new one. We're going to actually go for the family values. It kind of fits in with India, I hope. Mysteries I'm going to leave at random, and game rules I'm going to leave as preset. That's our first ship, and it seems to be fully equipped already, as you can see. No explorer, interesting. I haven't got capacity for this. Is that the issue? I think that's the issue. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's keep that as is. Polymers, machine parts, electronics, okay. In terms of prefab buildings, I come with moisture evaporators, which makes sense, I guess. Let's swap that over for one more drone hub. The moisture evaporator makes sense to have, but yeah, not at this point, I think. Alright, we can choose ourselves a landing spot. There's lots of preset positions. I'm not going to basically go through all of them. I want to choose one that basically makes sense here. Serenum Alpha, I think it makes sense. Still gives me a difficulty bonus of 160%, so higher than what we had here at the other sites. Serenum Beta, because there's less metals, less concrete, less water. Ideally, I'd like to have more metals there, because metals, of course, are valuable, and we can ship them out. Elysium Beta, but there's more meteors. Okay. 150, 160. Does it weigh up against each other? Dust Devils. Yeah, this destroys stuff. Let's take the risk here. Let's basically go for the meteors. So let's get started.
Welcome to Mars.
Yes, thank you. I'm pretty much sure we've all read through all of this before. We can of course do a couple of scans. Sorry, do I have probes? I do. I want to basically have something that's easily accessible. So let's, as you can see, we already have an area here where there's concrete and there's metals. So that's great. Let's explore those extra areas next door to it. And let's send another drone out here. Cool, there's metals there. Where do I want to land? Ideally, I'd like to have some water there if possible, but I've got a condenser, so at least that gives me a start. Lots of concrete, but the metals here is quite interesting. There are surface metals already as well, which is useful. So if I basically were to land over there, let's say I land, let's say I land here. Sorry, land here. Gives me a good starting position, relatively close to the concrete here. Should of course allow me to build, for example, some universal storage here relatively quickly, which of course would be really, really useful if I want to get access to, of course, all the bits and pieces here. So let's build that straight away. So I need to go to not the domes, but the storage, universal depot. Let's put one right over there. Now I do have some preset buildings already with me, so that makes again my life a bit easier. But one of the things I of course want to do here, I want to basically do a bit of construction. So not life support, is it? No, it should be construction. So we're basically do a concrete extractor. So what's the extraction amount that we're going to be able to get from there? Let's do that again. I just clicked on the wrong button, unfortunately. $555. Yeah, that should be a good starting point. Now, if I'm doing that, I also of course need some things like the basics, electricity. I can of course build solar panels for that purpose. Let's start by putting a few of those solar panels here in place. And of course a wind turbine would of course also be a useful one to have. Now I do want to connect all of these to each other, so making sure of course I got a good connection between all of those things is always helpful. And of course I also have, if I'm not mistaken, some dump sites I need to create. I'll need to. It's useful if I create them. So if I preset a couple of those around there, that makes it easier later on to pick up some things. Now what do we got here? Of course we got an RC rover. It can interact with locations. So if I basically send this... sorry, that's for the drones of course. That makes sense if I do that. So let's set that to be prioritized, including that one. Of course we do want to prioritize the cable as well. I don't have any other. That's a bit of a pity. Can be exploited by other resources and transport them when they are needed. Okay, so as long as I put them on the cable there, then that should automatically start getting power. I can increase the game speed here relatively quickly. So as you can see, we already have one of these up and running. Don't have any metals on here as such, but we should be extracting that from here. At least as a starting point, so that's good. Here we need more metals, machine parts and so forth, so that's good again. And of course what I should be doing as well is I basically should be setting scan locations. So at least I can scan out the region a little bit further. Right, so let's get back to work on here. So I'd love to be able to, of course, get my concrete up and running. And I probably want to put a concrete depot here as well. Because if I'm extracting stuff like that, I'm going to say that this one should not contain any concrete. I'm going to exclude the concrete from there. As you can see, it's red, so there should not be any concrete stored on there. They should be offloading this ship relatively quickly. I should have set, of course, a research target, which is the first thing you should be doing. Alright, research per soul. Let's go for drone swarm. This, of course, is a good one because, of course, that gives me the ability to basically do my polymers. Evaporator. Good technology to have. The heating. Not sure I need it straight away, so let's go for the other ones first. Let's do them in this order. It's a good starting point. Must be connected to power consumer. Yeah, well, that's the power consumer. And yes, it's up and running. One of the things, of course, I also need to do is when I'm doing power, you need to, of course, build up a battery. So I need concrete and I need machine parts. Is it night at the moment? Probably is. That's probably why we're not getting any power at the moment. There we go. So we should now start seeing that this is actually consuming. Oh, I don't even have sufficient with the solar panels here. I kind of hoped I would have enough on there, but it looks like I don't. Again, somewhat of a pity. Right, we stand at 6. Polymers and concrete. Concrete should of course be used for that construction, which I'm extracting here now. So again, this wind turbine should ensure that we at least get power even at the night time. Cool. And of course our battery will give us some storage capacity of power. So as you can see, we are actually not using as much as we actually are building here. So that's good. Storage capacity is 200, so that's good. Right, we're getting some of our basic resources here. It's waiting for refuel, which of course is nice to have. But I should be able to now build one of my drone hubs as well. Drone hubs, there we go. Let's build that drone hub here. Got a nice reach to it. Just building it up because I already had all the resources for this, so that's great. 4 extra drones. Again, we're picking up more metal, which is always welcome. I might actually maybe want to add an extra storage for metals, just to be on the safe side. Metal storage. I'm going to do that right next to there. Because otherwise, yeah, I'll quickly get to that point where I basically have sufficient metals already. Right. More metals there. Sorry, it's a little bit too far. Alright, so that should get me at least within reach of that one there. Still allow me to actually get back to the storage, which of course is quite key. Now this one should of course say waiting for refuel, which makes sense. Sensor tower is suggested. Okay, well, let's build one then. That makes sense to build one. So sensor tower. It requires metals and electronics. Now, electronics I do have already over here. And this one, in terms of maintenance, what does it need? It needs machine parts, which, yeah, we got machine parts, so that's fine for the moment. So as you can see, we're doing quite nicely in terms of extraction here. And that's of course one of the key things we're going to go for later on. Is of course the underground metals. Now I want to have that within reach of a dome. And ideally, of course, I want to have a couple of domes. I probably want to be able to build a couple next to each other. Potentially here. That looks to be a nice avenue here. Alright, we got more concrete there. There's more concrete there. What do we got here? Water can be produced by extractors or evaporators. Okay, yep. So I do need to, of course, build that evaporator that I basically had with me. There we go. Looks pretty big, doesn't it? I need to find a good spot for it. So let's find maybe that we can actually, of course, move or build more of these electrical paths. So let's say it leads that way. Okay. And of course I got none of these here. I do of course have that evaporator, which is, where did I put it? Life. There we go. And at the moment I did not have any pipes here yet. So that's again a useful thing to have. And again, what else do I need to do here? Well, I probably want to build a water tower. So at least I can build up a bit of a reserve.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Oh, nice. More metals found. Underground metals there. Let's set these other sectors here to be scanned as well. Is there any water that was found thus far? It doesn't look like it, does it? So it looks like at the moment I'm going to purely be relying upon the evaporators. And ideally I'd like to get water to be relatively close, but it's not always to be. It is not always to be, it looks like. What do you mean it's not connected? Yeah, okay. It needs
Anomaly found.
Something that basically uses it. I'm going to build a Moxie, and Moxie of course requires and of course I want to build an oxygen tank. Water tower, and of course I need to basically be able to build or convert this into fuel. And for the fuel you need prefab parts for this building. Use a resupply to bring more prefabs from Earth, or research the required corresponding technology. Okay, so I can't do that as of yet. I can of course request another rocket. So let's say I want to basically have a rocket with that refinery on there. So yeah, one refinery, moisture evaporator. They're not that expensive. Drone hub. But probably the main thing I want to have here is of course more drones. Let's get 8 extra drones on there. I do want to basically get one of these transport ones in here. And of course I want to get an explorer one. I don't have any explorer ones yet, so that's a good one to get. Ouch, that is gonna bite into there. But yeah, like you see, moisture evaporators, and of course the refueling one is some of the key stuff I want to basically get my hands on. As you can see, this is quite nicely, well, steadily filling up, at least here. That's at the max, or well, it should be close to the max for metals. Building not working. Which one is that? Okay, because
Sector
insufficient
scanned.
power. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Insufficient power. Of course, that's not ideal. Alright, let's build more solar panels. Of course, I do need more metals for that. Alright, this one here, what can I do? I can maybe move it here. More metals to be found here. Ooh, there is quite a bit of metal there. Well, quite a bit. There is a decent amount of metal, at least, I should say. So how many drones have I got? There's 0 assigned to this, so that's okay. Okay, pick up the metal there. You should be able to do that. And that metal can then be, of course, moved into here. At the moment, as you can see, we do have sufficient metal here to last us a little while. But again, like we did previously, we probably want to basically make sure, of course, we become relatively self-sufficient here. So having enough power production here is quite key. Drone node is heavy. Well, okay, that could be.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
It's easily within the reach of that one. So that's fine as far as I'm concerned. So there's still metals remaining, as you can see, but we're harvesting them now. That is the Explorer, which is of course great. Oh, I thought I could basically set up a queue of them. Unfortunately I cannot. It basically just goes to one of them. That's the RC Rover, but I really want to use this one here to pick up, of course, those minerals or metals. Now, one of the things I didn't have earlier, but I do have now, is of course the factory to do the fuel refinery.
The rover manipulators held the
Cool.
silver-white mineral up to the camera, just as the chemical analysis came through. We found tellurium.
Cool. Technology in the robotics tree gain a 10% boost. Robotics tree. Okay, cool. So let's look at electricity once again, and we're basically going to expand that path from here upwards in that direction there. We're going to do the same with the pipes though. So the pipes need to basically be expanded
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
to make sure we can actually work with all the relevant bits. Okay, so we basically got a few more of these that were scanned already. As you can see, lots of anomalies and everything to be scanned here and dealt with, so that's good. Still steadily filling up.
Anomaly analyzed.
Send that one up there. As you can see, it's picking up all the drones. Anomalies scanning still.
There's more to the barren environs of the red planet than meets the
Cool.
eye. A
The following
veritable treasure
technology
trove
been
of
revealed.
undiscovered knowledge and wonder.
Okay. Wind turbine upgrade. Power production increased by 33%. That is really, really nice. There's also this one, extractor. Okay. So we should theoretically be producing fuel here. And that should then be moved over to here, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm basically looking in here, as you can see, we got that one drone hub. I should of course be able to place an extra one a little bit closer here as well.
Sector
Then
scanned.
again, I got my first one here. I do want to have an overlap, so I want to basically place that one in here.
Breakthrough discovered.
Frictionless composites. Nice. Now that should of course give me a breakthrough in terms of wind turbines. Okay. Wind turbines produce 100% more. How much? 2,000, and that's costing 1,500. So how close are we to research? Well, we're doing pretty nicely. It looks like that one is full, so let's unload that here. Again, we are already picking up some stuff here, so that's great. So we're going to do some storage options here. Relatively close to, of course, the the drone hub. Oops, our battery is relatively low, so let's first off recharge. Again, stored power is really, really low again. So I'm building 2 of those there. Should make life a bit easier.
Sector scanned.
Production per soul, okay. Alright, increase the priority of that one, which of course is useful. Another sector scan was completed. Still haven't found any water, which is a bit of a pity. A bit of a pity. Right, the explorer here is done. What could potentially be quite useful is actually setting the recharge stations here. Now we already have a base there, but still, recharge stations are fundamental to everything we're doing here. So let's set one extra here as well.
Breakthrough discovered.
Cool. Sustained workload. Double the performance bonus when colonists are performing a heavy workload. Wow, that's quite nice. Right, steadily refueling still. No colonists, no jobs, etc., etc. So that's, yeah, it's okay. What do we got here? Okay, refueling of rockets, that's okay.
Sector scanned.
Again, more. Yeah, that's concrete. I'd love to find some water. I would love to find some water. Right, I do of course have more extractors here. So I'm going to build an extra water extractor here. Making sure we do get enough water. So as you can see, water produced 2, total demand is 1. But yeah, that could of course always increase at any particular point in time. This only requires water. So the mock seed, are we doing anything with that at the moment? No, it doesn't look like it. So let's turn it off for the moment. Same with that one. So I'll turn them off because yeah, they're not needed at the moment. RC transport. Now have I got more metals here? Yes, I do. It's not big deposits there, but yeah, any little bit of metal of course is welcome.
Sector scanned.
Particularly since at the moment I don't have any metals I've got being automatically extracted. It's all coming down to me doing some of the basics. So yeah, a bit of a pity that I just don't have water here. That's the only thing. Concrete is filling up quite nicely here. One thing it doesn't really say is how much remaining capacity I've got. It says how much production I'm getting, but it doesn't actually say how much remaining there is and so forth. So like I was saying earlier, I want to basically build some domes here later on, but yeah, I need to find some water first. Water is a key resource. Machine parts, electronics. Electronics are relatively low, as you can see. Now, lots of this stuff luckily relies upon metals in terms of maintenance. And of course, at the moment, I'm still getting metals from various different sources. This one here requires, of course, machine parts. But like I said earlier already,
Sector scanned.
those are the nice deposits, the ones that I really want to get. Okay, so this one here, let's send them over there, and of course this one here. Tell them to pick up more resources there, that'd be grand. I do of course need to keep an eye on basically the actual power levels that we got for them. So lots of valuable stuff there, and of course metals down here. So it might be more worthwhile to basically build more stuff here as opposed to the other location. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet which is the best way to go in that sense. Not 100% sure yet.
Anomaly analyzed.
Oh yeah, so drones. Can I reallocate them to there? Yeah, I should be able to. Right, so we're down to 4.
Sector scanned.
Let's reallocate all of them if I can. This one's got 0, this one's still got 2 remaining. So this has got a maximum capacity of 20, as you can see. Okay. Unfortunately, still no water. Still no water. Drone heavy load, really? Really? Is that what you're saying? Is there really a heavy load here? Alright, let's do another bit of production here. Alright, we of course do want to basically get these dump sites in place as well. What is this? What is this? It's being cleared. Okay. Yeah, so that's just dump sites. Which is great. Waste rock is being
Research
deposited
complete.
here already. Is there more waste rock coming from this here as well? Maybe. Alright, let's deposit all of that metal in here. So I'm going to dump that back into here. RC Explorer should of course have explored that one already, but it hadn't. So this rocket is relatively nicely filling up already. It's not... yeah, it's got no exports on there yet, because yeah, we're not extracting exports as of yet. Ooh, drone swarm. Nice. Drones and rovers move 25% faster. Generate 100 per soul for each RC rover. Ooh. That's most definitely nice. Now, of course, do want to basically get more out of here. So that might be a useful one to go for, and then that one as well. But Polymer Factory is a great one to have as well. I actually want to go for that one first. Alright, that's the new queue for research. What do we got here? Oh, that's just rocks. Okay, one of the things I haven't got yet here is, of course, concrete storage.
Sector scanned.
3 of them next to each other. Again, nothing found there, which again is a massive pity. It would be great to find some nice water deposit somewhere. But then again, I said that before. So let's do this once again. We're going to build another
Anomaly
sensor tower.
analyzed. Right, that one's full again. Let's pick up those resources there. Small deposits, but yeah, any deposits are of course still deposits. Average high, very high. That's good. That of course is good.
There's more to the barren environs of the red planet than meets the eye.
Okay,
A veritable treasure.
cool. But this one of course does need to recharge. Let's put that on the cable. No more research spots here. That's a bit of a pity, but okay. So purely at the moment focusing on producing stuff that is locally usable. Right, this one can take off, so let's send it back.
Milestone achieved.
Nice. First milestone is basically launch a rocket from Mars. Nice. What do they actually give you? Do they give you any points? No, it just affects your score. Skin did some waste rock is filling up quite nicely here. This one of course is consuming power. That is requiring of course machine parts.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
You can see we got 5.2 machine parts, so it's not really, no, sorry, it's not machine parts, it's electronics, isn't it? Electronics, 5.2 electronics. Average grade, low grade. But the size of the deposit is quite different for all of them. That's a high grade one. So if I were to start looking at basically building a dome. Oh, that's interesting. They got new types of domes. The most ecological dome design provided extremely limited habitable space and no capacity to host a spire. Okay, a barrel dome. An alternative small dome configuration provides more space but lack a slot for a spire. Trigon dome, an alternative medium dome design. Okay. Small dome suitable for the early days of the colony. Okay. So it consumes, as you can see, oxygen, water and electricity. Maintenance is concrete. And this one is polymers. Alright, let's do this. Let's get the power lines extended to there.
Sector scanned.
Let's do the same here, of course, with the life support components, which of course are those pipes. Now, this one reaches how far? To there. So let's build the extra one that we got approximately here. Which then also basically, I would say, should always be accompanied by a universal storage. Alright, let's have a look at those domes. Actually, maybe let's do that in the next episode. So let's show for the moment. Okay, where? There, okay. Okay, so let's have a look at this gentleman here. He's by far not full yet. Anyways, guys, good time for us to call it a day. So I'm going to pause the game. I'm of course going to save this as being our second YT, so basically YouTube. So this is the India as, of course, the Indian series. Let's, in the next episode, carry on from where we left off and start building our first dome. Guys, thanks again for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, take care. Bye-bye.